Right. That's better. Now I'll be audible. Now I need to redo all of that intro, don't I? That's still a bit too loud. Turn myself down further. Right. So where were we? I was just saying that we just returned to Egypt, where Queen Adalberta, the Sword of Jesus, is preparing for the for a crusade on Jerusalem that will commence in 7 days. And even though she is badly bruised and wounded, she is pretty certainly going to be at the head of her armies as they stomp across the Sinai into the Banu Farat Sultanate, which is the target of the crusade. Unfortunately, half of her armies are not actually in Egypt at the moment, but are in 2 ships sailing across the Mediterranean, because she was rather busy with the war that her ally, the King of Navarre, called her into. Thus, she just got out of that in time for the crusade, but her armies are still not quite where they ought to be. So now her aim is to win the crusade, on behalf of the Pope, obviously, so that her eldest daughter, Gerhild di Spoleto, can become Queen of Jerusalem. So we'll see how well that goes. But I think that probably means that Adalberta wants to raise pretty much all the troops at her disposal, because it's going to take more than a week to get them to Jerusalem. So I think I just hit both of these buttons, then work out where all the troops have turned up and try to get them into sensible places. Zoom in by one. Anyone down there? Yes, we've got 517 troops there. Well, I suppose they can just start marching this way and we can see what they run into. That's the edge of the Banu Farat Sultanate. Right, let's send them up there. I suspect that will not go well for them, though. Well, you lot can sit down. Let's go for the first thing inside Dejure, Jerusalem. No, let's go for the first place in the Banu Farat Sultanate and organise ourselves there a bit and see what's happening. And meanwhile, this lot obviously have to get in somehow as well. Well, we can probably raise some ships and stuff them onto the ships and then send the ships like 6 inches that way.
Oh, ridiculous route.
Yes. Actually, if they're going to do that, let's send them that way instead, and we can join up in the edge of the Banu Farat Sultanate. Right. I unpaused briefly. We have the usual mess of defensive pact stuff, but I don't think we're going to worry about that because, we have an actual crusade to fight first. Right, that ship is now full, so they can also head over. Is it there they're going to? Yes. Though, why don't we come ashore in Egypt? That would be much more sensible. Don't bother wading ashore 1 hex along the coast. Well, I've got a port there. Queen Adalberta, the Sword of Jesus, has accepted a call to arms from Pope Marinus III, opposing Sultan Amir II of the Banu Farat Sultanate. Due to having pledged to join the crusade, Queen Adalberta, the Sword of Jesus, had no other choice. Also, she really wants to. In a grand announcement, the Pope declares a crusade for Jerusalem. It was once part of the core Christian lands, and lords from all across the world gather to fight for it in a grand war once more. The Jerusalemite lands have long been under the tyrannic rule, I'm going to fix their grammar as I go along, of the Mohammedan infidel Sultan Amir II of the Banu Furat Sultanate. But with the upcoming Christian onslaught, it is only a matter of time before he will fall. God will grant remission of sin to everyone partaking in the righteous war. Deus Vult. Right. What are all these messages? Okay, yes. A bunch of our holdings are under siege, I think, because, well, there are probably Muslims kicking around all over our territories, and it's quite a big war. So I don't know if we're going to try to form another Crusader state like we did with Sirte last time. You should also come ashore down there. Lots of people leaving a defensive pact against me, not for any good reason. So is that now just 2 fleets, empty fleets that can be dismissed? It is. There appears to be one lonely soldier from the Holy Roman Empire marching up through my lands.
Appears to be, in the sense that when it looks like one person, it actually represents like 100.
No, I think it represents one person. Like, I think the army sizes are more or less reasonable. And people are joining the defensive pact against me. Yes, yes.
Who's joining the defensive pact against you? Presumably people on the other side of the crusade.
No, probably not. I mean, there are huge defensive pacts because Adalberta keeps expanding. So there's like a large pagan defensive pact down there, and hints of a Christian one, and a fairly large Muslim one. Yes, I mean, but then so's Adalberta, so meh.
Proposing another one.
Probably more useful to form a defensive pact against me. I mean, I'm more ruthlessly expansionist than Ben usually is.
I mean, I'm trying to turn into a smaller kingdom, so I don't have a defensive pact against me anymore.
Might of course just be a stunning act of real politics. Or something.
So is that other ship still trundling across the Med? Yes, it is. The coast has pretty decent supply limits. I mean, I say that, but I've got 19,000 troops there. Well, that's good one county along, at least. We may have to split this army up fairly rapidly. Right, and the other ship's arrived. Other fleet has arrived. My men find ourselves at a bar in El Arish as evening turns to night. An attractive serving boy seems to pay me lots of interest. And when I'm about to go to bed for the night, he is clearly interested in joining me. So, Adalberta, the Sword of Jesus, can lose 25 prestige and gain 25 piety by deciding that she is not here to pick up foreigners. Gain 25 prestige and lose 25 piety, and also cease being chased by nobody will know about just one night. I mean, I don't know that chastity is particularly a problem. Or she can fall in love with Sharaf. Attractive serving boy, apparently. He's 34. Lose 25 prestige and 25 piety and get him into her court. He's got backstabbing skill of 22. Maybe I want to convert him to Catholicism and then appoint him as my spy master.
Not a giraffe.
I mean, okay, my current spy master does have a intrigue skill of 23, but he's also 62 years old, so he won't last forever.
I'd be surprised if spy masters normally died of natural causes.
If you have that high intrigue, though, I mean, you know, you're much more likely not to die of unnatural causes.
I think Sharaf should join Adalberta as a lover in her court. Mechthild, Empress of Italia, is now known as the Apostle. What's the supply limit here? We're about to blow past the supply limit in this county. We better split this army in half now. And Queen Adalberta will lead half of it onwards into Jerusalem proper. I think Pinkbee says, oh yeah, you want an adept backstabber of unknown loyalties in your court. I think in this game love is symmetric, so I think Sharaf is guaranteed to be in love with me if I'm in love with him. So his loyalties should be reasonably solid. Also, like, we can tell some of his what he's like by like, we can look at his traits. He is cynical, but that's mostly a religious thing. And he is ambitious and deceitful, but like, I don't know that he has loyalties. And his opinion of me is as good as it can be. Lover plus 40, loyal servant plus 50. But we should probably sort out getting him into the correct religion. I am adjusting him. I finally stand before the destination of the crusade. With sword in hand, I'm ready to storm the walls of Durham. Excellent. That gives me back the 25 prestige and 25 piety I lost for Sharaf. So does that mean Adalberta is now a Crusader and a Crusader Queen? No, I think having Crusader Queen exempts her from also being a Crusader. But now Dietrich has become a Crusader, and we should do that to all of our other commanders, Gregorio and Meinhardt, and Anastasios has got it already, and Estercel and Alarich. And then we should appoint everyone else we can find as a commander, I think. So that the entire damn kingdom has the Crusader attribute, Crusader trait. So for that, I want to. Who's currently on the right flank there? Left flank, Alarich. Right. We will temporarily fire Alarich. He won't mind. Actually, no, let's do it through here. If we can just go. There will now be a bit of tedious admin.
Business is concerned about succession.
Dizzy worries that Queen Adalberta, the sword of Jesus, may possibly end up with little serving offspring to complicate the succession. No, this is not likely because, despite her looks, Queen Adalberta is 49 years old. She just looks very young in that helmet.
And it's automatic that at the age of
45.
Women automatically, their ovaries shrivel up and you can't possibly have any.
Yes, I mean, it's kind of weird that this happens at a precise date, rather than just a decline in fertility that occasionally surprises you. Magnus. Maybe I should do this in. Yeah, I could do this more efficiently by actually replacing 3 commanders at a time, couldn't I? Actually, by replacing all my commanders. Let's do this. Let's try to be efficient here, because this is otherwise going to take forever. So we'll put in Gomez and Magnus and Velf. Keeps rearranging things in a really unhelpful fashion.
Yeah.
And Augustin and CK. It's got rearranged as well. Well, we want the highest person who doesn't yet have Crusader. And Jonas. And then we pick people out of here who don't have Crusader, like Gomez and Magnus. Yeah, this is more efficient. And Velf. And Augustin. Seeker. And then we go... Goatslin. Christoph. Athelwine. Sorry, I accidentally got started thinking, which is unhelpful. Gomez we can get rid of, because we've done him. Bold. And Flanchad. So Pink Beast asks, not if they're known bastards either. No, that's not a problem. It appears if you're female, I think, because
But you can't possibly be bastards. They're definitely your kids.
yes, they are.
Your husband will be pissed off and you'll get
but-
demerits for adultery.
But Gerhild in particular, her father is Heinrich the Pest, who was Adalberta's marshal at the time, because her husband was busy being like spy master for the Holy Roman Empire or something. So she didn't see her husband for the first few years of her marriage. So yes, Gerhild's father is not was never married to Queen Adalberta. Indeed, I don't think she had any looks like she didn't have any children with her first husband at all. Oh, King Lutverus managed to provide no children at all to Adalberta. Anyway,
Yeah, succession-wise, they're not a problem.
I think I messed at least some of them up. Oh well. I think it may be slightly safer to relieve them all and then appoint new ones. Even though that's a bit slower, because I think I've occasionally got confused about who I needed to replace because of the way that the user interface shuffles your commanders. Sure, I appointed him last time. Oh well. We're just trying to pull out anyone who has somehow not managed to become a crusader yet. Because in general, crusaders all like one another, and even if I'm not going to be playing as Egypt, or as the Queen of Egypt, I think it would be slightly helpful if whoever I'm playing as is on good terms with everyone in Egypt. That wasn't. There are some people I, for some reason, can't put in as commanders of this flank. There's like.
If they're on a ship, an army on a ship, they might not be able to do access of it. But
Oh, he's my steward, and so he's busy. Right? Yes, I see.
okay, that's good.
Let's temporarily unbusy all of my council, so that we can turn them into crusaders. Right, that's better. Do not fire councillor, relieve commander. Firing councillors upsets them, relieving commanders does not. Which is curious, because being a commander is actually a prestigious position.
Yeah, but the problem is.
But possibly the prestige precisely outweighs the danger of getting killed.
Also, once you've spent a little bit of time, pissing around in a muddy field, terrible tundra, stokey desert, etc., then you're very glad to go, yes, thank you, that was very prestigious, but can I go home now?
Hang on. I think he had the trait and I was being a stoat. These people with weirdly spaced out traits. Yes, you're possessed, but I'm sure you'll still make a good crusader. Indeed, it might help. They do appear to be mostly appointing bishops now.
Sure, they're delighted to go on crusade.
Happily, the crusade is only just next door, so it's very simple. We'll finish doing this soon. And then we'll start besieging things properly. So, yes. Like, we're appointing people with truly terrible martial skills now. Oh, we've reached the bottom of the list. So why does it list him higher up the list than all the others? Does he have some? Oh right, he has a bunch of stuff from being cruel, I suppose. Yes. Anyway, last batch. No, I did not say last bat. Right, so now everyone who is entitled to be a commander in the Kingdom of Egypt has been a commander in the Kingdom of Egypt and has thus become a crusader. Now we can go back to having sensible commanders. Following my usual procedure. Actually, maybe we want Alarich in place of Dietrich. Yes. Up first, who's going to be the last commander? The last commander should be another organiser. If I've got another organiser, I don't appear to have another organiser. That's a pity. Well, in that case, it can be Alarich. Right. So now, join those two together for now. Give them some vaguely reasonable people. Have some decent people here too, and settle down to besiege things, because that's probably what we want to do. Oh right, yes, I got told that I've made my own husband a Al Jazeera now has a new temple constructed in it. That's nice. That's not very relevant to me. Commander, briefly, and thus he is now a crusader as well. Which means +2 martial, which means a small increase in my state martial, which was already fairly scary.
Yeah, but that was mostly driven by the fact that you are, a one-woman killing machine.
Yep. Are there any mountains around here? Are there?
It's true, actually. If Adalberta gets much more badass, then Velatin wants to then muster it after her.
Yeah.
Sadly, there are no mountains in this area. So Adalberta's particular strength of being a mountain expert is not going to help her very much.
She might have borrowed a new trait.
Right, my lover Sharaf is now Catholic, so that will reduce the disagreement between us. Though he is still a cynical Catholic, so.
Cynical Catholic.
Yes. Dizzy asks, did you turn your council back to busy? Yeah, we should do that, shouldn't we? Okay, where do we want to convert to Catholicism? I think my entire domain is now Catholic, so we can just start picking off other areas. My marshal should probably actually be leading armies. My steward can research economy tech in the capital. My spy master can study technology in Constantinople. Probably. Might want to send him to Capua, but I don't know. And my chancellor... Oh, I don't know. Improve diplomatic relations with someone. That's not a very helpful thing anymore, is it? Improve diplomatic relations with Aswan, that'll do. No, I need to actually select him first. There we go, right. So, where were we? Oh, let's switch back to realm view because we can then see that we've taken some territory. We have 5% war score because I've occupied one place. Let's assault that one though. Which means that Adalberta is by far the largest contributor to the crusade because no one else has arrived yet.
You were right next door.
Yes. Right. No, don't go that way. There's not enough supply limit to go that way. Go that way.
I just have to hope the sodding huge Muslim army doesn't turn up before some of your mates get there.
Yeah, we haven't seen any armies, any opposing armies yet. We saw some ships. Adriano the drunkard. Right, that's probably not relevant. Oh, we did just have a battle. Down there. Oh, yes. There was that army, of course, that tiny little one. That is so far doing quite well. But let's make sure it has some decent commanders then. I mean, I don't think Adalberta should lead it herself. Unfortunately, everyone else is busy. I think 4, 5, 6. Because I'm not an empire, and so I don't have quite. Actually, I can probably steal someone from up country. Someone who's not busy being a siege leader. Let's stick Nikita in the centre and Estercell on the right flank. It's a tiddly little army, but so it should probably not actually sit down and besiege things down there, but maybe we'll find some allies.
Yeah, he sits down and starts besieging some buildings.
Actually, what's going on with the... Okay, that square itself is... Oh, but it has a rather low supply limit. Where the supply limit's there is pretty terrible as well. Actually, let's split this army in half again then. And have half of it sit down here and half of it go onwards. So that they don't all die. Few siege events. Someone joining a defensive pact, not the siege event. Yeah, I'm sure people are going to start besieging us in weird ways. In particular, they're all going to besiege our trade posts down on the Red Sea. That lot are still doing all right. What's that message? Nothing interesting. Someone is known as the Fat. Trude di Spoleto is no longer a participant in the Catholic crusade for Jerusalem, as her liege, Valdemar di Spoleto, joined the Holy Roman Civil War to lower crown authority as attacker. What? Okay. Apparently this civil war takes priority over the crusades somehow. Oh, alright, that's not my battle going on up there.
One of your kinspeople was employed by a stoat.
How's this army doing it travelling up by a stupid route? So far so good, because apparently the armies on the way are currently neutral in the crusade. Possibly they're the wrong kind of Islam. So we may actually make it into the Battle for Sultanate unscathed. The defensive pact against the HRE has not HRE Byzantine Empire is disbanded. As I pass through Durham, I come across Duchess Argantguisel of Aragon. She invites me to spend some time in her camp to get to know one another better, as we are allies in the crusade for Jerusalem. So I can probably become the Duchess's friend. I mean, it's probably not going to be very helpful. Or I can insist I'm here to fight infidels, not to make friends. No, I think Adalberta is willing to make friends as well as fight infidels. The target of our crusade, well, one of the targets, has finally fallen to our mighty arms and the wrath of God. Someone more has joined a defensive pact against Adalberta. Seb says, I came here to make friends and fight infidels, and I'm all out of infidels.
Not for a while yet, but you will be eventually.
I mean, she hasn't met any opposing armies yet. Oh, we found some opposing armies down here, and they're kind of scary. You're not movement locked yet. How about you go that way? No, not that way. Not that way. No. There and then there. Right, that's the correct way to request that. I think that given this army here, that this lot are going to have to find themselves a way to join up with the main Christian forces to the north. I think we can assault that. I thought it already had. Maybe it's a different defensive pact that's just disbanded. So these ones are both besieging big forts, aren't they? So we're not going to assault those. We're not in that much of a hurry. We will assault mosques and such. Right, you lot then need to head northwards. That county's now taken. The old wound has finally healed, leaving a pretty grotesque scar behind. Ew. But scarred gets opposite trait opinion +10. Now I'm going, what is the opposite trait to scarred?
Scarred.
There isn't an unscarred trait.
Yeah, precisely. This means basically everyone who doesn't have a scar goes, now, wow, how badass you are, etc.
You sure?
I think so. I'm not complete.
No, you don't. Like, my husband doesn't get it, for instance, and he doesn't have scarred. He just has the great pox and is a lunatic.
Yeah, that might be. He's a lunatic.
I mean, he's still very much in favour of Adalberta.
Yes, because otherwise, you know.
Hey, she doesn't murder people. He's Christian. She's not going to kill him.
Yeah, but I bet.
He may not be completely confident of that.
Yeah.
To the good mystic Adalberta, may you live in harmony and contentment. We propose that Basileus Midrat of the Byzantine Empire and Argilo bint Mahmud marry. Right? I mean, she's this fairly random courtier of mine, who amusingly is a Mirza. The mother of this character is patrilineally descended from the Prophet Muhammad, and also a direct leader, which is of no use to you. Yes, I have no use for her. Please take her away. How's that tiny army doing at not dying? Oh, it still hasn't left that county yet. Actually, the county straight ahead of it looks safe now, but it's too late. Oh well. Argilo has left us. And all of the crusade participants are desperately trying to find somewhere to besiege. Yeah, people are besieging my trade posts. That's fine. Mostly just gets you a bit of money. I probably need to stop watching the all the things that are going on in Italia.
I assume that people besieging your trade post are at least trying to reasons you on the other side.
Yes, I hope so. We
I think they could probably get away with it while they're in confusion.
Well, I mean, I'm not sure that's entirely unknown for Crusaders, but in the game you can only besiege people who are actually on opposing sides, on an opposing side to you. Someone else joined a defensive pact. There are too many people here. Oh, there's an actual army there.
Yeah, you should go find it.
Yes, where am I? I'm there. Well, let's split off half of that army. Take Queen Adalberta's army with a couple of decent commanders and stomp in there to make sure we get some of the action. Don't know that we'll get there in time, mind. Everyone is trying to join this battle. Oh yes, we made it. Just in time to chase them out again.
Just in time to share the XP. XP. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. 2.
Oh, well, back up to Ascalon. So we're about to win. Oh, there's another battle. Looks like it's on the horizon just over there. Oh, yeah, that may actually be serious, that one. We can see we've got 10,000 troops heading in from Al Jalf. This lot appear to be stationary, but they can't actually besiege anything there. So let's send them further up the coast in the hope that they can join us in due course. Meanwhile, though, we rather need to do something about that. This lot are surely going to finish that siege very shortly. So I think what we should do is hold on until they do, and then stick Adalberta, an organiser, and someone else into that army and send them quickly across the border to Wadi Musa. Right, Siege of Beersheb finished, so I think now we say Adalberta in the centre, Nikita on the left, and yeah, Meinhardt on the right. Get in there. And that should... Problem is that Edmund is leaving. I presume this lot are going to arrive first. They're arriving in Wadi Musa on the 6th. We won't get there until the 12th, but Edmund is not going to be able to leave by the 6th. So he's still going to get caught. This lot have got another 24 days before they finish that siege. Maybe we should just have them provide a few more men, because that, I think, will make the numbers reasonable. Yeah, let's try that. Oh, meanwhile, Duchess Gudrun the Fat of Asyut has declared war on Alodia. Presumably she's managed to find a Muslim nation that we're not currently at war with to go to do this to. Well, have fun down there, Gudrun. I'm busy. Right, so that battle has started. I don't currently have anyone in it, but we're working on that. Now I do have someone in it. It's Queen Adalberta. She has a narrow flank advantage and is in the centre and is doing a pretty effective job. Right, so now our problem is that this army is not coming in there. It's heading for our tiny little group in Negev. Negev. So we're going to need to, as soon as we've slaughtered this lot, head into our now rather smaller group in Negev. And rescue them. What's the supply limit? Well, no, let's not worry about the supply limit for now. Oh, it is rather low. Well, we can get out again shortly afterwards. Let's join those two armies together as well. Duchess Gudrun of Nobatia now, who has just inherited it from her father. Where's Nobatia anyway? Some down there apparently. Welcome. I'm afraid I can't appoint you as a commander because you're a woman. If you can probably join the crusade in your own right, though. Right, so this is not a good start, but the rest of our army should be arriving soon. There, that's better. Oh, we get some tech points from Constantinople.
I don't think it's nobody's business but Turks, but your spy master would beg to differ.
Wali Hussein of Al-Sanamain was captured in battle and is now my prisoner. Oh, you guys can come up and join us. So I suspect he's not worth any war score. That battle was worth some war score, though. So let's rapidly ransom him for 25 gold. Oh dear, I think we're going. The Crusaders are going to lose a battle up here, though. That's not looking good. Right, so we don't really want to have too many people parked in this county because it has a somewhat terrifying supply limit. So let's merge the two armies we've currently got there together. Then split in half again. And send Adalberta's army somewhere else. So we probably want to try to stick within de jure Jerusalem, but Wadi Musa is part of de jure Jerusalem, and no one else seems to be there at the moment. I should possibly check. No one else is heading to where... Oh, there is... Yeah, that's a fairly small army. I think we still get the contribution points even if we're helping someone else with the siege. We just don't get so much control over it. People have joined a defensive pact. Not much, no.
Certainly not once you hit terrifying Katamari conquering ball would do. Then, like most of the game, is other people joining and using defensive pacts and you waiting for your threat to decay enough that the defensive pacts decay enough that you can do something.
Or you go on crusade and become a smaller thing.
Or you go on crusade and become a smaller thing, but while you're in... Once you've hit a certain sort of size...
To the prudish occultist Adalberta, because she still has the chaste trait. May Allah destroy your house, I accept paying your ransom for the safe return of Wali Hussein.
I assume that Adalberta's reply is, says you and your army.
I think, despite the insults, he's offering money. Adalberta replies, cha-ching!
Yes. Right, what's the supply limit there? We can actually pile everyone into that county. Oh dear, we've pulled some people out of their hiding holes in a siege. That tends to be a... tends to end us up with a really overcrowded prison. So Adalberta is still the largest contributor. So Lithuania is catching up. Actually, you lot may as well now head to there. So, Abelina Polkarios, who's for some reason in my prison. Oh no, she's imprisoned in Mecca. Apparently, I can send her a letter asking her to convert to Catholicism, though, so I'll do that. Well, she's currently grumpy because of the religious differences between us.
I had a very strange image when you said imprisoned in Mecca, and then I realised it wasn't spelled like that.
Yes.
I've got more tech points from Constantinople than I'd quite realised.
Right. Is that county taken? I don't think we're going to assault anywhere. Actually, no, we shouldn't send them that way. We should send them that way. I think. Well, there is already someone besieging in there, though. Yeah, no, we'll send them this way. Also, I have a child that needs educating. Who is she? Oh, Ansta Yacirez di Spoleto, my Adalberta's granddaughter. Yes, she will. Well, I think probably the easiest thing is to have her educated by me for now. Pretty good, yes. Oh, but I don't know. There's a actually, am I just too fantastic? I'm neither dilly. Actually, maybe we should have her educated by her own mother, because there's otherwise the danger that she'll become German, which would just be irritating. Stop putting extra troops into this county. It's bad for my the survival of my army.
I think the other side thinks this is totally legit.
No, it's not the other side I'm worried about.
It's my allies.
It's the rest of the Crusaders who keep turning up and being unhelpful.
For this reason, it's often worth assaulting in situations where you might not always do.
Yeah, they're leaving again, so I don't think it's urgent. Also, I can't yet assault. As we settle down for the night in Wadi Musa, a comet passes overhead. The soldiers start talking excitedly about what it might mean. So does it mean that God guides our hand in this just war? 10 piety. And also improved morale of armies. Does it mean, all right, now get back to work, men? 25 prestige and 2 more martial.
I think you have to.
Does it mean, let us take a moment to thank the Blessed Virgin for this miracle?
I think more martial for Adalberta.
Everything helps Adalberta. Right. Adalberta is now up to Marshal 31. I'm sure it should have been a bit higher than that, but we'll take 31.
I think she's lost a bit because of old age or something.
Yeah, her base marshal may be slowly dropping.
No, it's your personal wombat skill that starts to drop with age. She may have lost artifacts, of course.
No. Yes, she is getting minus 15 for old age now. So her personal combat skill at the age of 50 is only 58.
Yeah. I mean, I have seen someone with a martial skill of 35, which was effectively a god-touch shepherdess, etc., etc.
My having just come of age courtier who is currently imprisoned in Mecca has now converted to Catholicism. I feel I should ransom her for that. But he wants 46 money and he won't give her back. I think he likes her too much. We get 3 minuses for his opinion of Abelina. Which is presumably that he likes her and wants to keep her rather than that he hates her and wants to keep her in prison, but I'm not sure. Oh, I think Mechtild has just managed to imprison a bunch of people. Actually, she seemed to have imprisoned a bunch of Tispoletos, which is a little worrying. Yeah, I think Italia is no longer of any interest to us. They're too far away. Let us unwatch Empress Mechtild. Well, that was stupid of you. Sorry, someone's just got into an extremely doomed battle there. I mean, I think my plan here is mostly that we stay still, besiege what's left, and that will probably... I mean, we are a bit low on contribution points now. Maybe Adalberta heads north and it gets into another battle just to get her contribution points quicker. Yeah, I think that'll be a faster way to get the points. It will undo that siege, but no. Someone's trying to join us to get some of the glory. Going to turn up too late though. Battle of Cracked Moab. Did alright. Where are you guys going, eh? Can we catch you by virtue of having a... We can. As we travel through Al-Karak, we come across a festival to ancient gods still celebrated by the local populace. It reminds me of some of the harvest festivals at home. So, one option. Let us take part in the festivities. Adalberta loses 25 piety, loses 22.7 gold, ceases being zealous, which is giving her +2 martial, but does gain 2 diplomacy. Or it is not befitting of a true Christian, which might make her shy, which is bad for her diplomacy and slightly bad for her personal combat skill. Or maybe these harvest festivals are to the real gods. Queen Adalberta, the Sword of Jesus, gains the trait Possessed. Gains Harvest Festival Faith, which gets her +2 diplomacy, +20 fertility, which is of no use, opinion penalty from different cultures and religions, and loses her 50 piety. Possessed gives her more personal combat skill, but yeah, I think she might just be a bit shy about this one. I think. Plus, like, there are infidels to slaughter. Oh yes, have we got anyone we need to ransom? Okay, who's heading into this area then? There's apparently a fight going to happen here. Sultan Farouk. Where are they then? Oh, are they coming in? No. I'm trying to work out who it is that's arriving in Al-Karak and whether I want to be there waiting for them. But I can't work out who's going to end up in that battle. And thus, whether I want to be there or not. Oh, well, let's head down there, because if there's going to be a battle, Adalberta wants to be in it. Duchess Gudrun of Nobatia has declared war on Elodia as well. Okay, that. Okay, we want to split off some of this army. No, not both of them.
What's the overall crusade score?
88%. Adalberta is still the largest contributor at 46%. Oh, there's a nice big Muslim army. Where are they going? They're going to Amman now. In that case, battles seem to be quite good for gaining us contribution. So I think there's a rather low supply limit there, though. So let's split people up a bit. In a slightly different way from before. So that lot's still heading. Now they're heading for Heil. Okay, they've just decided to flee. Right, well, in that case, where's the boundary of the De Jure kingdom? It's there, so it's 11k, so we could safely send one of these, easily safely send one of these back south. Right, Siege of Hebron victory. So now we do the usual thing of assaulting the minor holdings. Right, we now have a 100% war score, but we want to increase our contribution, so...
Who gets to decide that when the crusade ends?
The Pope! Because the Pope was the one who declared war.
And the Pope isn't satisfied with 100% war score.
Nope.
It'll take him a little while to be satisfied with a 100% war score. In the meantime, we can make sure that we're the biggest contributor. Oh! As we settle down for the night in Al-Karak, another comet passes overhead. Well, I think God guides our hand for morale of armies plus 10%. Since I think we already have Taskmaster and we can't have it twice. Oh, or it can go up to Marshal plus 3. Okay, maybe I can. Get back to work. Okay, that only seems to be plus 2 nonetheless. But that says plus 3. Maybe the display's confused. Taskmaster plus 2. Here is the Taskmaster property. It gives me Marshal plus 3.
That sounds like an bug.
Stoats, I should have 34 Marshal. Maybe I need to unpause for a bit. Let's see, has that improved? Ah, right, it's sorted itself out now once a day's passed. Right. Taskmaster plus 3 up to 34 Marshal points. Anyone want to fight? Oh, there's someone who wants to fight. Where is Adalberta? I can't see an army that she's leading at the moment. But let's quickly assault that and then see if we can quickly... No, that battle's going to finish in a moment anyway. There's someone trying to join that. It's probably that lot trying to get up there to get themselves some desperate contribution. And you lot can head down there. But probably, yes, the crusade has finished. The Catholic crusade for Jerusalem has ended. Pope Marinus III won. Victorious crusaders, God has granted Queen Adalberta of Egypt victory in the crusade for Jerusalem. Sultan Amir II of the Banu al-Farat Sultanate has been beaten at every turn through the war and has finally had to give up on his holdings in Jerusalem. Queen Adalberta has granted the new lands of Jerusalem to Gerhild di Spoleto. The Pope has made an announcement about the victory and the virtues of the Crusaders as true faithful protectors of the faith. With the Muslims being pushed out of their old lands, there are certainly more conflicts to come. Praise God. Right. So, Adalberta di Spoleto, pause. Adalberta di Spoleto has had splint mail armour added to their treasury, and saintly bone. And there was a random outbreak of disease. So Adalberta's treasury now contains German Crusader armour, which is morale damage plus 10, monthly prestige plus 3/4, martial plus 1, personal combat skill plus 10, versus her German armour of the cross, which is less morale damage, less monthly prestige, same martial, less personal combat skill. The bone of St. Paul of Tarsus, which is good for a bit of monthly piety, and she already had the German blade of the cross. Right, so she's gained some new not so good armour. Her daughter is now Queen Gerhild, the Sword of God of Jerusalem. And has her own German armour of the cross, and the Iron Mask of St. George, and the Basque Crusader falchion. Right, well, these troops had better all come home.
So is Gerhild walking what area at the moment?
No.
No, the heir to Egypt is Prince Alaric of Egypt.
You can't generally make heirs of things your Crusader beneficiary.
Yes.
So this is precisely the way that you can swap out when your direct line is being made of stones.
So,
Without
yes.
murdering people.
We should invest in a technological advance because we have so much culture. Am I going to go for yet more tolerance to reduce the different cultures penalty because of the thing of Adalberta being in a Crusader kingdom that's full of random weirdness? Probably a good plan. So Diziat asks, do you get to play as Gerhild at some point? Probably in like about a week in game time. I will get a thing saying, I wonder how Gerhild's getting on. At least that was roughly how it worked last time. There we are. The Crusader Queen. After the long-fought battle for Jerusalem, it has finally been restored to the faith. Gerhild di Spoleto has stepped up to the throne as beneficiary of Egypt, becoming the queen of the Crusader state. Surely it will be hard to continue fighting at the fringe of Christendom, but everyone can agree Queen Gerhild is the right person for the task. The 30 martial skill might be a bit of that. She's not quite Adalberta, but she's pretty scary. The Pope requests that the rest of the Christian world support this new kingdom as best they can and not let it once more fall to the infidels and heathens. If only it could have been me. It can. Right. The user interface reorganises itself around a new character.
Yeah, that's just... Right.
So, what's going on here then? Queen Gerhild controls this area as Queen of Jerusalem. Down here we have High Chief Demas of Outre Jourdain, who is a remover pagan. Did you join the crusade, or did you just happen to be in the area?
I have to say, I mean, holy war, because I don't think any... well, do check the religion map, but I think that his remover friends are going to be a long way away.
So yes, that's where the other half of De Jure Jerusalem went. It ended up controlled by the High Chief of Outre Jourdain. So Queen Gerhild's vassals are Duke Siward, or indeed Emir Siward of Galilee, the Count of Acre, the Duke of Ascalon, and a bunch of bishops. Queen Gerhild only has one child, Princess Ansta Antsa of Jerusalem, who is also a genius, is 6 years old, and probably ought to be being educated by, well, her mother.
Do you want her to be educated by someone Basque?
Her mother is Basque.
Okay, right, yes, that's good reason. Go ahead.
Now maybe we need to wait for the user interface to settle down, because I don't appear to appear in the list.
Oh, what are the succession laws?
I don't know. Succession law is, as in the previous place, agnatic cognatic primogeniture. But notably, we only need to reign for 10 years before we can change that to absolute cognatic. The Count of Acre, well, he has about 1 acre of territory, really. Thank you, Pink Beast. Next in line is, rather bizarrely, the Count of Shiraz. That's there in Poland. Which is, yeah, quite a weird sequence of successions. Don't quite know how that's achieved. So, Queen Gerhild already has a truly terrible council appointed. Well, I mean, apart from her Chancellor, who is the Emir of Ascalon and is a very sound Chancellor, she has no good candidate for Marshal or Steward or Spymaster, and she has actually no candidates for Court Chaplain. The reason she has no Court Chaplain is there is no one in her realm who can be her Court Chaplain. Right.
That's probably because it's full of people who aren't Christian or who aren't Catholic.
So let's find a decent Court Chaplain. Well, Lutaverus, the Marshal of Skalva, looks pretty good, with a learning skill of 29. So, yes, that will do. Now let's look for... We've got a decent Chancellor. We're going to need a decent Marshal, though. Anyone lower down who looks like they might have some really good traits? Not really. If we can get a very good high martial skill organizer or holy warrior or siege leader, we might try to tempt them. Doesn't look like it. Of course, we're going to need some commanders as well, so I should probably invite some more. Basically everyone who has half decent martial skill in the world should come to Jerusalem. Plus at least one organizer. And at least one siege leader. Right, that's a good start. And we want a steward. Let's invite over the Marshal of the Aegean Islands, because he obviously ought to be a steward and not a marshal. I mean, really. And we're going to want a spymaster. Again, why are you appointing this guy as a steward? He should be a spymaster. Right. So yes, Gerhild has the Crusader Queen trait like her predecessor, which is part of why she has such a terrifying martial skill. She also has another set of German armour of the Cross and an Iron Mask of St. George, which between them get her another 2 martial. The ceremonial helmet worn by Queen Gerhild as she stormed the gates of Jerusalem in the name of God. And she has a sword as well. Right, so now we can wait for those... yes. Obviously, our player heir is also Princess Anster. Which is as it should be. Let's just wait for people to turn up in my court. And then I'll remember what they're for.
Okay.
Can't remember quite how many there are meant to be. So we'll just keep saying yes until the flow stops. Right, that looks like it's probably everyone. Innocenzo and Azzone and Lutaveras and so forth. And Philippa, because she's presumably married to someone we wanted. Like him, who is a siege leader and thus interesting. Erdwolf and little Oda. Oh, look, it's a Garonen. He's married to Günzelin von Heimbach.
Right. Yes, I think that's everything. Good news.
Maybe he'll like me better once I've appointed him to some job. Right, so let's have a marshal who actually has some martial skill, like Erdwolf. Let's have a steward who has some stewardship skill, like Isidoros. Let's have a spy master who has some backstabbing skill, like Günzelin. Let's have any court chaplain at all, like Lutaveras. And let's appoint some decent commanders. Okay, I don't yet have enough decent commanders. Maybe there are some who are still arriving. Oh yes, here's one. Look, I don't need an independence faction now. Apparently Emir Siward of Galilee is trying to become independent of Jerusalem already.
Maybe that's what you should get your diplomat on.
Yeah.
Chancellor is the word I'm looking for.
He is also a Prince of England. How is the Crown of England descending then? No. The guy who's declaring independence from me isn't someone I nicked the stuff from. He's a Prince of England who also came on the crusade. Just he's like 15th in line to the English throne. Being as he is the 4th son of the current King of England. It is an elective monarchy, actually, so he could theoretically be elected. Well, he can't now because he's a foreigner. But yes, one of his elder brothers is actually the heir to the Kingdom of England. So do I get my... Yes, I get my capital automatically converted to Catholicism. So Jerusalem is majority Catholic already. Is that the whole of my domain then? Is Jerusalem? Yes.
Oh, you've got quite a lot of money. You can start building it up.
That is a fairly scary number, yes.
Go to war with your pagans next door and not worry too much, because if your vassals, check your major vassals' cash, but you can probably afford to hire all the armies to stomp on you if you really need to.
Yes, Queen Gerhild is quite astonishingly rich, and quite astonishingly prestigious, and moderately pious. We should fill in all of the minor titles, of course. Well, I mean, apart from apart from Court Jester, obvs. Is there a decent person here who could be my designated regent?
You go for high diplomacy and
Yeah. That's actually something we're reasonably well blessed with. Well, who's the guy who's just trying to become independent? That's Galilee. Okay, let's point him to that because that will get him to like us a lot more. We really do need everyone to like us more. Maybe a bit brave. Right. Am I still waiting for someone to arrive, I wonder? Ah, yes, I need an ambition. Alright. The build a great work ambition is kind of pointless. Build a great work to at least stage 2. That takes some time.
it's not so.
What's
are
the...
quite quick, like libraries. think the great libraries, there are, have a look at them and do, you know, because she's not that old.
And she is incredibly rich.
And she's incredibly rich, so you're in exactly the best position to do this that you'll sort of ever be. Because you've got plenty of time to build the thing, and you can pick one of the ones that goes up a bit more quickly.
Where is the button for creating a new great work?
So you need to be...
Oh, it's that one, yes.
I can say, yeah, you're in the right view.
Oh, yes, some of them are 7 years initial construction.
Yeah. Obviously those are the ones you wish to target with this.
I somehow feel that Gerhild is not quite a ruler statue sort of person.
Yeah.
But she might plausibly be a magnificent garden sort of person.
Yeah. Jerusalem's meant to be green and pleasant, right? Oh, sorry.
Okay, let's go for the build a great work to at least stage 2.
And that means that maybe your steward or something can help with construction. So, although I don't think that a bit of actually affects great work construction times.
Right. Alright, is Jerusalem... No, Jerusalem is officially hills, despite what that looks like. Sorry, one of the options is to build a fountain of youth. Right, well... That might give her more hope of finishing it in her lifetime. Beast says, why not build a giant statue of the Pope, who's awesome? No, sorry, if the Pope wants a giant statue of the Pope can build it himself.
It's true. I mean, he might have to work a bit because, of course, Rome already has the Apostolic Palace.
Yeah, it's going to be quite expensive. Also, the Pope doesn't currently own Rome, I don't think.
Well, that's his problem.
Right, we can't actually enhance Mirabel at all, but we can enhance Ramallah, so let's do that. Let's build some training grounds in Ramallah as well. So that probably means we also want to drop our steward into the capital to improve the rate at which building's happening. So there isn't actually anywhere that we need to convert because that it's our job to convert because Gerhild only directly controls the county of Jerusalem itself. Everywhere else is controlled by one of her vassals. But she can probably usefully send her court chaplain out unless I feel like we really need cultural tech. I mean, we are a bit short on it. Let's actually have him research cultural tech for now. We'll have our spymaster scheme up there to try to discourage that faction. Let's actually train troops for a bit. Right, I think I failed to invite an adequate number of commanders, so let's invite another commander. Let's go for Vlastimir, because he's only 1 point down and he's got a good... he's got direct leader, which would be quite nice to have one of. So yeah, one of my commanders is the wrong religion. I thought one of my commanders was of the wrong religion. Oh no, it's my steward who's the wrong religion, right. No, I didn't mean to appoint him as a commander. Stoats. Apparently his bravery is useful. Anyway, relieve him of being commander. Will he convert now? No, but it looks like it won't take much to persuade him. Here, have 15 gold. I've got like 13,000 gold after all. That's better.
With your 13,000 gold, as well as building a great block, can of course improve Jerusalem's, pertinences.
I can't actually improve Mirabel because everything requires more technology than I have.
Right.
But I am working on Ramallah. Until it also hits the technology limit. I should check that we have a university, yes. And a monastic school, yes.
And that you've got suitable town things to be cash.
Yes. We have most of what we have. Yes, everywhere, everyone considers Jerusalem a holy site.
Yes.
But now, Catholicism controls it.
Right.
So our moral authority is quite high because we have all of Catholicism controls all the holy sites, all of its holy sites.
Which are Köln and Jerusalem, just Jerusalem.
Yes. Köln, Roma, Santiago, Jerusalem and Canterbury. And we just won a crusade and we've won lots of holy wars. Thank you, Adalberta.
Yes.
Lost a few holy wars. Built lots of temples and do unfortunately have an anti-pope.
Well,
So I suppose the question is, how soon do I go to war for Ultra Jourdain? Nearby remover rulers might ask to join the High Chief of Ultra Jourdain. Yes. But I don't think that there are any nearby remover rulers. Everyone else over here is Sunni. And presumably we're also in a position to declare a de jure war against Queen Adalberta, but that may be unwise. Well, not actually a de jure war, we have a claim war for a single barony. Well, we're not going to do that. Because I was like, oh no, that's the county that should be... Oh, what's going on there then? That county is still part of the Banu Farhat Sultanate. Right, yes. Sorry, I had thought that was part of Egypt, but it's not. That's Banu Farhat. So essentially all of our neighbours that aren't Outre Jourdain are the Banu Farhat Sultanate, who are also pretty soft at the moment. So we could have a holy war for Antioch or Damashq, which looks fairly sensible, or Sinai, which is a bit silly, or Tripoli. That's it. Should there not be something here? Oh no, of course, that's not adjacent. Arabia's not adjacent to us yet, because we've got to take Outre-Jourdain first. He appears to have 0 troops. Well, I mean, maybe we should quickly claim Outre-Jourdain, because that's part of the de jure kingdom, and I don't really understand how he got it. And like, he's got no troops, and Gerhild has 10,000, which is not very many. Actually, we might want to wait for that to build up a little more now that we've just planted our... What? You only just arrived! Lutaverus, my court chaplain, during my stay in Jerusalem, I have found a great philosopher who has agreed to help me with my study to enhance culture in the county. With your permission, I would suggest that we employ him. Yes, we will certainly take 50 cultural tech points. Hello, Vlastimir. Please become a commander. Please convert to Catholicism. Right. Okay, he's found himself 15 troops now. Let's declare war on him before he finds any more. That probably means we can do this with just our personal levies. Though that does appear to only give us 2 flanks, which might be a bit risky. Well, of course, she gets to wear the Iron Mask of St. George into battle. That's a very odd route. Gerhild. Why don't you just go via Karak? Hang on, I haven't declared war. Back we go. Do this in the correct order, Ben. Damn it, Prince Seward of England has declared war quick before I did. Well, that's fine. We can both declare war. I can just try to get there first. Try to get more holdings. Oh! Oh no, I can't declare war until I've dismissed this lot. Yeah, that's no problem. Just wondering if I call in a holy order as well, if I can. Because, like, well, actually, I should think about how many troops I've got here and what the supply limits are. I suppose I could send like the Knights Templar and the Knights Hospitaller down there. I'm just trying to get all this before my vassal claims all the territory. So that we have all the piety and all the money. How many troops does my vassal have at his disposal? He can call on 5k. Actually, what I should do is something slightly more subtle. I should get my troops into every county. Because the way this works, the first person to arrive in a county is the one who gets to get the results of any sieges. So the important thing is to arrive first rather than anything else. So I don't think I need to hire anyone for this. I think I need to ensure that I arrive first. Sadly, we're going to arrive simultaneously there. Don't know who will get that siege. Right, I seem to be controlling the siege. Oh no, we're not the leader of the siege. Curses. Oh well, we are the leader of this siege because we're the only people there. Let's make sure our siege leader is in here. Redirect that lot down to there so that they can actually make that siege work as well. So probably Gerhild will get these 3 counties, and my lady Vlastimir approaches me with excitement in his eyes. Would you do me the honour of bestowing a nickname upon me, my lady? So he can be the Loyal, which will make him like me. The Fair, the Burden, where I have more important things to do. The Loyal will do nicely. I hope this... I'll stop after this holy war. I don't think it'll take very long. Of course, what I really want is, oh dear, to capture everything before these guys finish besieging. So I should actually withdraw my troops from that county, because I don't want to contribute to that siege. I want that siege to, as far as possible, fail. So that my guy there is not actually occupying it at the time the war finishes. Right, so we've occupied one county. Dear, that's fine. We're getting people in. Oh, the Knights Templar have established a new holding in the county of Tyrus. Permission to settle there was granted to them by the noble Prince Seward of England. The mighty castle will henceforth be known as Belfort. So that's up here. There's the new barony of Belfort, held by the Knights Templar in Jerusalem territory. Right, we've pushed over Montreal. Sailor. After the army enters Hermnes, any sense of discipline is lost and the men start to rob, burn and pillage. So, Queen Gerhild, who is zealous and just, does she let them have their fun? Does she insist they wait for her, which stands her a good chance of becoming cruel? Does she stop this immediately, which will probably regain control of the armies because she has such high martial skill? Yep, she got control over our armies. Damn it, he managed to occupy something. Right, the Jerusalemite holy war for Utrajah Jourdain has won. Has ended. Queen Gerhild of Jerusalem won. Unsurprisingly, to the Basque infidel Gerhild, may wisdom ever elude you. I accept your offer of peace. So, oh right, we didn't end up failing to gain that happily. Don't quite understand how that happened, but I'm not going to argue. So Queen Gerhild now has enlarged the Kingdom of Jerusalem slightly. It now extends over, well, all of its de jure territory now. I think we've now got the properly de jure extent of Jerusalem, which is nice. Yeah, what's going on down there? All right, no, that's not relevant. So the only oddity is that Gerhild not only controls the... oh, right. So, oh, right, she hasn't actually ended up with a load of weird holdings for the most part, though. Because I think a lot of the vassals were already Christian. It was just that this one guy turned out to be remover. So for the most part, these haven't even ended up in her... so it's only actually the capital county that she's ended up with in her domain. So she's going to need to find a mayor of Sahab and a mayor of Arasas. Madaba, she should build some stables. She can remain Baroness of Madaba and of Krastal. And she should build some stables there as well. But yes, this lot, she's got new counts in. And like possibly she wants to re-establish the Duchy of Outre-Jourdain. But on the other hand, it's not obvious that she does. She's not exactly short of vassal limit. May as well keep them split up a bit. She's already managed to get her threat up to 8% by virtue of that war. The independence faction is not as scary now that she has some more territory. So yes, I think while there is some fettling to be done, we've now actually properly Queen of Jerusalem, Queen of all of Jerusalem, including that weird bit. So I think Queen Gerhild can now sleep comfortably, knowing that she holds the territory she really deserves to hold, and maybe next time she can look at claiming some territory she doesn't deserve to hold, because ultimately, obviously, now that I hold Jerusalem, the target has to be form an empire of the Outremer. But that is quite a job. Completely control the region of the Near East, which is the area outlined there. So it's going to be a while before Queen Gerhild can manage to do that. But obviously that should be the target. I will not stop until the dream of reconquering everything that was once Christian has been fulfilled. I will make sure that the Holy Land stays safe and Christian till the end of times. But yes, that's going to be quite a job. So we won't try to do that today, if nothing else, because first we're building a magnificent garden in Jerusalem. And we also need to convert the Kingdom of Jerusalem to be absolute cognatic. And then we might get on with conquering the whole of the Near East. But not tonight. Tonight we say good night.